Hello and welcome, G.I. Joe Classified fans. I wanted to talk about some of the retro Joes today in comparison with some of the mainline and even a couple others that are available. I wanted to go ahead and start out with Duke and Scarlett. There are a lot of retros already to talk about, so it's going to take a few videos to get through and to say some of the things that I wanted to say. So we're going to be looking at these 5 figures today, starting. Let's go ahead and start with Duke. And this is not the original mainline release. What did they call these? The Battlefield variants? I can't remember what they called those. There was a specific name that they came up with, basically, where they got rid of those gold accents and replaced them with silver and green and other more agreeable colors after quite a bit of backlash. I've noticed that the sizing has changed a bit, particularly Snake Eyes. Duke is another one who's, in comparison to some of the newer figures, he's kind of small. He's on the thin and short and small side. I don't have his pistol on. I pulled that off, and I think Breaker has that pistol in the holster right now. But I did have some of the Action Force gear on him, which I actually like a little bit better. But for the video, I wanted to get back to close to original, as it was easy for me to get without a lot of trouble. As far as talking photography and talking the fact that I am a completist, I'm still buying every single release and really starting to think about scaling back my collection because it's getting really out of control. And I think for what I'm doing now, I really don't need the size of collection that I have. So that's partially why I'm doing these videos and doing some comparison. So, and then of course with Duke's weapon, it's sort of a futuristic laser rifle, and that's probably not what I would prefer to use in my photography. But I do like, so this has a bit of a more official look. I feel like if I were going to have Duke meeting with Hawk and some of the other leaders, some of the other top brass, I would probably want to put him, I'd want to use this version. But let's go ahead and get to the retro version. Of course, a lot of the retro figures are repaints. This is a whole new Duke from head to toe. Everything is new. And of course, we saw a repaint of this with Starduster. So you'd probably want to keep this guy away from Starduster. And if you're going to use Starduster, you're probably going to want to use this Duke next to him. So, you know, there are reasons why we would want to keep that Duke around. I have pulled one of the weapons, I believe, from one of the 60th anniversary sets to give him a gun with some real power. He's got a great loadout. Love the helmet, love the visor. Gives you some different options, some different looks for him. So I really, and of course we got fists, so you can swap out the hands. We got some different options to make him look just a little bit different. I can pull that bandolier off if we want to and give him more of an official look. So I really like this version. I feel like it was an improvement over a mainline version, and I was really happy to see this one come along. And as far as photography, I have to say, I don't know that I've even used this version one time since the retro has come out, so maybe this is going to give me the impetus to go back and use that mainline Duke. All right, let's go ahead and get into Scarlett. Retro Scarlett gives us some options for her hair. There's sort of a windblown option where this one's a little bit more straight, and we also have a few different weapons for her. We got the laser rifle, we got the crossbow. This is classic Scarlett. This is the Scarlett that I think a lot of us have been waiting for. I think there's a bit of disappointment with the head sculpt. That's really the only. This is a great Scarlett, and of course we've seen this repainted as Quarrel and Glenda. And but as I was saying, I think some people felt like the head sculpt was kind of maybe missed the mark a little bit, and I think that's been really the issue with. Let's go ahead and talk about the mainline Scarlett. I think a lot of people weren't crazy about that head sculpt. And she does have the ponytail back there. She's got long hair. I like the weapons. She's got the cool dagger on her chest. She also has a sort of crossbow. I gave her one of the rifles from the Valkyrie set. I think it's a good look for her. I was pretty happy with this Scarlett. You know, this definitely was one of the real classified figures, totally modernizing Scarlett, and that's a treatment that we're not going to get from a lot of characters, so I'll probably keep this one around too. This has been my favorite Scarlett. Still probably the best looking head sculpt in my opinion. Origins Scarlett also has probably the best crossbow of all the Scarletts, I think. This one does not come apart. It's one solid piece. It's not gonna fall apart on you while you're trying to use it to take pictures. So I still end up using this version of Scarlett quite a bit. It might be my favorite version. It's certainly my favorite head sculpt. So I feel like it's going to be tough to get rid of any of these, honestly. But maybe as we go through and do some more analysis of mainline versus retro, we may find some that we can live without. Some of the collection that we may actually be able to purge. So anyway, that's the first look at retro Scarlett and retro Duke versus the mainline versions. I hope you'll subscribe if you're into this sort of thing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
We'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra and Destro, fighting to save the day. He never gives up. He's always there, fighting for freedom over land and air. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there.
G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained Special Mission Force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world.
He never gives up. He'll stay till the fight's won. G.I. Joe will dare. G.I. Joe.